Hello, everyone. I'm back. Sorry about last week. I had a whole bunch of family stuff come up and everything, so I was delayed. But today we're going to be talking about Castellan, which is a really awesome game. This is actually one of the first games that I've ever taught my child how to play, and I think that a lot of people miss all of the things that this brings to kids and gaming. And I'm going to talk about that today because, there's a lot of kids' games out there. And as an adult who likes gaming with children and passing that love of games on to children and trying to get them interested in something that you're also interested in, this is an excellent game to do that with. Instead of playing Mousetrap or what other crazy kids games are there? There's like Uno and stuff like that. Kids aren't going to learn a whole lot of stuff off of Uno, but they're going to learn a lot of skills off of this game right here. And we're going to open this up. These boxes come in the red blue color as well as a green yellow color, and both boxes are two-player games. The yellow green color is an international version, so it has international instructions in it, so instructions in all sorts of different languages. I know that there's German in there, there's French in there. I mean, it's just loaded with a bunch of different instructions on that. And you can get just this game or you can get both colors and play a four-player game, which is really awesome. I actually have both colors myself because I like playing a four-player game with this. I started with just two. And this is a really interesting box because you have some of the pieces up here and then you have the actual box that everything stores in right here, which is a really nice size box. I really like that box there. But in order to get all the pieces out, you have to bust this open, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not going to trouble you guys with that right now, okay? We're going to take this to the table here. And of course, if you guys have any questions at all, just let me know. I'm here to answer lots of questions. So, in this box here, Candyland, that's right, Candyland. I would much rather play this than Candyland. There's so much more you can get out of this game, guys. All right. Here's your instructions. Instructions are very simple, easy to read, easy to go through. I'm going to go over how you play the game today, so you don't really need these right now, okay? All of these pieces here go in the individual slots, and these pieces are awesome. They are made of like a heavy plastic, and they have such detail on them. You guys can see them here. I mean, the castle pieces look like tiny little castles. And I actually saw online somebody who had painted all of these pieces, and it looked so cool. I mean, I would never have the time to do that, but it looked freaking amazing. So you have little tiny castle walls, and then you have these little towers here, and all of these pieces are going to fit together perfectly. This actually fits together very nicely. And then you have these longer style walls here, okay? These are what the pieces look like. There we go. And all, like I said, very, very detailed pieces. All of these fit together very simply. And you have your little towers. You can get some towers out too. This is actually really fun too to kind of set up and stuff as well. So, like I was saying with kids games, you can get just a whatever game and play with your kids. You guys are going to have a little bit of fun and stuff. But this is actually a Mensa Recommended game, so you're going to have a little bit more thinking power to it, but still super easy for kids to play. You're going to have these cards here that you're going to deal out, and everybody's going to start with 4 cards. So there's not a whole lot of cards that you have to have in your hands, which is awesome. I'm telling you guys, this is a fantastic game. To have, the little cards and little hands and stuff, that can usually be a problem, but with a minimal amount of cards, not a problem anymore, guys. All right, I'm going to show you how these fit together here. See how easy that fits in here? And what you're going to be doing is building little towers. Let me set up a couple of these for you guys really quick. There we go. Okay, let me open up these cards. Ooh, I forgot to get the scissors on these cards. So, one of the big things, like taught my child this game when she was super, super young. She was 2 years old, probably a little too young for the pieces involved. She was not the type of kid to put a bunch of pieces in her mouth and stuff, so it was okay for me, but I don't recommend doing it at that young. But, 7, 8 would be perfectly fine to start this game. Turns go pretty fast. You lay down as many cards as you want to play. And the cards here are going to have little towers on them and little walls on them and stuff. And those are the pieces that you're going to collect, and those are the items that you're going to build together. And then you guys are all going to be building off of this space that you're sharing together, okay? So turns go really fast, great at building table time for kids because some kids get impatient whenever they're first learning games and they don't want to wait for their turn because there's too much stuff going on in a two-player game. You set down a couple cards, you collect your pieces, you build something, and then it's the other player's turn. And it works super, super fast. We have wall cards and tower cards. And what you do is you mix each deck up separately. So you are guaranteed a tower on these cards and guaranteed a wall on these cards if you need them. And at the start of your turn, you draw 4 of these. If you have a little kid that may not be used to games, they can just draw 1 of each, and that makes things a little bit easier for them, okay? And then on your turn, you just select how many of these you want to use. It's not beneficial to use them all because at the end of your turn, you're only going to draw back 1 of these cards. And especially for children, I always recommend telling them, hey, you can choose 1 or 2 cards of these and then collect these pieces and then put them together. And here's the magnificent part of this, guys, is that this game, I know that some people have compared it to kind of like boxes or some of those games where you would just like build lines and stuff. But this is actually a great exercise for spatial awareness and dexterity for children, okay? No, but I watched other people play. This is an excellent game, Jesse. If you haven't played it, you need to. Oh, no, he's talking about Grave Danger. Yeah. Well, you got to play a little. Jesse got to play Grave Danger a little. But what I would do on my turn is I would collect however many walls I have on my card here, short and big. Collect all my items here on my other card, which these are 2 bad cards I probably should not have put down. And then whatever is already in the middle being built, I get to build off of that with these items. Okay, those are the items I'm going to build with. These cards get discarded. I still have my hand of cards that I can play later. And then I just start building. And the spatial awareness portion of this is the fact that as you're collecting these pieces here, you're trying to think of the different ways to build this to make a little box. So once you connect all these pieces here, then you can claim the points that are going to be inside of this, all right? And it's kind of odd as you're playing it because you're thinking, all right, I have just the perfect amount of pieces here. And then all of a sudden you realize, I don't have that last tower to finish this. And this was a really bad move for me. But kids super enjoy this game, and I do too, especially if you just love building things and putting things together. So I would build my stuff like that, discard my cards. At the end of my turn, I would look at the cards in my hand and I'd go, all right, well, I probably need some more towers, so I want to draw one of these cards right here that guarantees me more towers in my hand, and then my turn is over. So I draw that card, turn's over, blue goes now, and whoever ends up completing this little area here now gets to stake claim to that. We're going to pretend the blue player completed that. And then they're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 points for this, okay? If they complete this area here and then they stake claim to that there, then they're going to get the 4 points here as well as the points that they would have had here. So these are going to count again for them as they go along. And sometimes it's really great to build a very, very large structure. And then once you make claim inside of this, then you're the only person that's going to be able to build inside of this here, which is also really excellent because you can do all sorts of stuff once you do that. Now, with dexterity and spatial awareness, what I'm talking about with kids and stuff, this is a highly problem solving game. You have to figure out just exactly what you have in your hand and the resources that you have in order to finish something large or small, and then try to build off of that and make sure that you're not giving your opponent any sort of advantage on this. I think this is a really underplayed game, honestly, because I don't see it around too often, and it's so good, guys. It's so excellent. It's so simple to play. I know that I've talked to some people who have parents that have disabilities and stuff, and they also say it's a really excellent game as far as being able to hold minimal amounts of cards in your hand, so somebody who has disabilities doesn't have to go through the issues of having a whole bunch of stuff in their hands. And then still, the problem solving feature of trying to solve this spatial awareness puzzle here is fantastic. Fantastic. I would compare it really to something where like engineering comes into play, where you have to use the problem solving, and that spatial portion here is where everything's going to fit, like cogs in a machine. And so if I went ahead and let's get this structured off here, filled this piece in here. Gosh, if I can get all the pieces. There we go. And then a little piece here. If I staked claim to this little area here, now I can do all sorts of cool stuff to this portion in here. To build my points, I could have, right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. Or I could try to section this off and create different structures in here to add my point totals to this, okay? So if I wanted to add extra points in here, I could add another tower in there, and then that's going to give me extra points right there. I could go ahead and build another structure in here within my structure. This is the best part, is when you claim a really big structure and then you end up building all these little sections inside because nobody else can build in there. And now I have a bunch of different sections in here that I can play with and build points off of, like that there. And then I'm going to get, the 3, 4, 5 points for this. I'm going to get another 4 points here. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points for this here. And as you're counting them at the end, you just tip these towers over to remind yourself, okay, well, I've counted this section here. And then, all right, I've counted this section here, and I've counted this section here. Now, one time throughout the game, you get to do double points for an area. And what you do is as soon as you complete that area, you double stack these towers here. Just like that. And then this double stack structure here is going to notate that, okay, I'm going to get double points for this one area here, which is also really interesting because as you're playing it, you get to kind of choose, okay, should I use my double points now? Should I wait until later? Yeah, I completely agree, Jimmy. Closing the big areas, if you can section yourself off a large enough area where you have enough of these little towers on the end here, you can do all sorts of stuff within here and not have to worry about other players doing weird stuff to what you're trying to build in the middle. That's how I personally like playing it. But going back to the kid portion of this, just having them play one card here, taking these pieces and then having the dexterity of putting these pieces onto this structure and filling something in and having them start creating something in their mind of like what they want to build and stuff is always really cool too. This was one of my kids' favorite games. It was this and what was the other one? Can't remember. The other one was like another dexterity game that she really ended up liking. This one, though, by far was the what she got the most out of, because you can do counting with the towers. You can use dexterity to put the pieces together, which I keep hitting on that, but that's really important for school age children because holding a pencil or little things in your hand and then placing them in places is really important for school age children, okay? So, counting in the dexterity, the spatial awareness, where their body is, where they can fit things, the problem solving aspects on where they can kind of see in their mind on the structures that they want to make and the direction that they want to go, making a plan and stuff. These are all excellent, excellent skills for school age children. So, this game is listed, Walter, for 10 plus. I had mentioned earlier that I started my child out much younger playing this game. I think the biggest aspect between when you want to introduce your child to this game is going to be the toilet paper tube test, which is these little tiny pieces here. You don't want them to put them in their mouth, okay? If they've stopped putting things in their mouth, they can totally play this game. You may, need to keep a really close eye on them and stuff. But, I don't see why introducing them at age 8 or 7 would not be a problem. They also have like it's it's such a great table time building game in the fact that those turns go back and forth so quickly that if your child is not used to sitting down at a table and playing a game for a really long time, because that's what usually kills most children that are younger trying to play games, is not the aspect of, all right, I'm going to learn how to play the game, because kids learn games pretty fast, okay? It's the fact of like, how bored am I as I'm waiting for somebody else's turn to come along, you know? That's the worst for kids. They don't want to be bored while they're playing this game. And going back and forth so quickly with a two-player game, not a problem at all. At a very young age, attention span is the key. Absolutely, Walter. That's the first thing I talk about whenever I'm introducing games to younger children is building table time, letting them walk away whenever they want to walk away from the table. They don't have to finish the game. But there was never a time that I was playing this particular game where my child got bored and walked away and was like, all right, I'm done with this. I've played for a little while. It's fine. No, my child was always completely engaged with what was going on. They didn't have to worry about too many things in their hand. It was creative, it was entertaining, it was engaging for them. It's such an underplayed game. And two, this was a Mensa recommended game. So I think it was in 2015, they select a whole bunch of games to become Mensa Select games. And this one just missed becoming a Mensa Select game, but it was a Mensa nominee. So it's Mensa Recommended game, which is awesome. I was super sad whenever I saw that it didn't become Mensa Select game because I was like, this is perfect. Then I would feel like super justified that I picked this game for my child and stuff because she learned so much from it, you know? Yes, and visualizing what they're doing, Jimmy, and finding the cards is a perfect step. Just even with grown-ups, I've taught this game to grown-ups and they're like, "Oh, this looks like just a very simple game," but having your own visualization and trying to think of, all right, how am I going to solve this problem? How many towers do I need here? What cards do I have in my hand that can manage this? Am I going to have enough walls? Do I need short walls? Do I need long walls? And it's surprising how much thought you do have to put into how you're building this structure here, you know? Should I section off this here and try to get a really great amount of points? And how many long walls am I going to need here? You know, how many towers? You might not suspect that you would need at least, maybe 3 towers across here, 2 long walls here, 2 long walls there. I've played the game a lot, so I can visualize this much easier than some other people who have not played it. But it's excellent, excellent game, guys. Super underplayed and stuff. And right now, Warehouse 23 has a sale going on for this game. I believe it's like $10 or something, guys. And normally this is a $35 game because the pieces are made out of this super awesome, heavy, detailed plastic. And I'm going to show you guys the pieces again because these are super detailed. They have the little tiny bricks on them, the little castle gates. They're so cute, and you cannot beat the way these fit together so easily. So easily. A lot of games where you have even boards that are being put together, I feel like not everything fits perfectly, or sometimes you have to like jam those pieces in here. These pieces fit together so easily, guys. They just slip right on. Like, is no problem. And whenever I first opened this game originally, I was so surprised at how well they had cut everything with the detail and everything on these. So, fantastic game for the holidays. Great for kids, great for adults. If you want to get both the yellow and green version and then the blue and red version, you can play an awesome 4-player game. It takes a little while longer to play because everybody still has to take their turn and then pass and you go around the table. So I don't recommend 4-player games for really young children because it does take a little bit longer to play, but it's an awesome game at 4 players and it's an awesome game at 2 players, okay? So, Warehouse 23, super awesome sale on the game. Fantastic for your kids. Yes, I know. $8.74 right now at the moment, and it's usually a $34.95 game, okay? So, like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to pass this up. This is a great Christmas present, guys. You know what I haven't talked about, though? I haven't talked about the end of the game and how it ends. So, as you're going through all of your cards here, you're playing your cards, you have a little discard deck. You're trying to maximize them as far as what you're putting out and what you have in your hand. Once you are finished with all these cards, so you've played all of the cards in your hand and that are out on the table, at that point, anybody else at the table who has cards left to draw, they draw up all of their cards and they get to play all of them as a last turn. So, as you're playing the game, strategically, you do not want to give the other player that advantage. So, in most games that I play, I do not see that actually happening. Usually, the difference between one player finishing versus another player finishing is a matter of a card or two, you know? So, people finish at a very close level as far as like the expenditure of cards. It's not what you would think where everybody plays, you know, somebody plays all their cards at once and then that's it, you know. It sets up really well. I mean, it's just a really well-rounded game, guys. I'm super excited to be talking about this one. It's in my favorites, you know? And like I said, super underplayed. So, I hope that you guys get a chance to check this out. It's an easy play, super detailed. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I believe early on, back in 2015, 2014, I'd actually written an article on this game, so you guys can always go to that and at GloryHoundd.com and take a look at that, where I talked about the age that I played with my kid and how that went and how we worked up table time with her and stuff and getting her introduced to games, because this is an excellent one. Only one green one left. Oh no, that's terrible. So this particular game, I would get it right away, guys, because I don't know if they're going to do a reprint, and the production on this is fantastic. Just an amazingly produced game. So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. There it is, right there, Warehouse 23. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful holiday season. I'm going to be back on Thursday. What are we doing on Thursday? I can't remember what we're doing on Thursday. I know we're going to be giving away something on Thursday. So we're going to continue giving away stuff on Thursdays if I can. We're going to be talking about holiday games all month. I have Munchkin Starfinder over here that I'm going to open up. I have some more Grave Danger stuff that I'm going to give away. We have all of the Munchkin Christmas stuff, you know, or the Munchkin holiday stuff. I have a gift pack and dice and the Munchkin Light that I'm going to open. So, super great gift ideas all season. I'm super excited to talk to you guys about everything. Other than that, make sure you like and subscribe to this, and I will talk to you guys all on Thursday, okay? Have a great day, and thank you so much for watching.